Hey gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. I am so excited to share with you today manifesting rituals for abundance and how you can set yourself up for manifesting success in 2024. I know some of you may be thinking like, I'm not even looking at 2024 yet, Emma, but I just want to kind of spark some inspiration with you and give you some prompts today and some kind of reflection points to really kickstart this festive process. So you're seeing that abundance and seeing those shifts now, not just when we hit January and beyond. But if you're new here to my channel, then welcome. My name is Emma. I'm an award-winning life coach and 3 times best-selling manifestation author, law of attraction YouTuber here on my channel, and I'm the host of the #1 spirituality podcast on iTunes, Spiritual Queen's Badass Podcast. And here on my channel, I cover all things law of attraction, manifestation, spirituality, and self-help. So not only do I really hope you're going to enjoy this video, but the abundance of videos here on my channel over the last 10 years. So as you guys will know, if you're a regular here on my channel, I absolutely love this time of year. Of course, it's the perfect time to reflect. It's a perfect time to kind of think ahead to New Year and 2024 and think, right, what is it I really want to call in this year? What am I kind of focusing on moving forwards into this new year? So often it can feel very overwhelming when we kind of do that the last week of December, when we're suddenly like, crap, right, I've got to think of all these new goals and what I want to manifest in 2024, and do I even know what I want to manifest in 2024 yet? It can feel quite overwhelming when there's like lots to do, then got to do these rituals, go through all your stuff. And I think a lot of the time it can just feel very rushed and overwhelming energy, and we definitely don't want it to feel like that. We want it to feel expansive. We want it to feel intentional, because your desires deserve your full wholehearted attention. They don't deserve half-assed energy. So I want you to be really intentional with the practices and rituals that you do leading up to New Year and also through New Year as well. Now, on the 1st of January to the 5th of January, I do have my free annual manifesting challenge, which I've done for over 6 years now. So obviously you can come and join us for that. It's not quite time for that just yet, but I just want to throw that in there if you do want to come and have some manifesting fun on the 1st of January together and set those beautiful intentions together. And as always here on my channel, I'll be doing my end of year review video in the next couple of weeks for you, plus my winter solstice ritual, which will be on the 22nd of December, the winter solstice this year. So don't miss that, because that's a real key part of this wrap up process. And then obviously we can start to look forward to those New Year rituals, and I will link those below as well, so that you have a guide to guide you throughout this festive period. But new videos will be launching in the next few weeks with updated content and updated rituals. But before we even get to our wrap up, before we even get to setting those powerful intentions, I really want you to start to reflect. Now, you're going to do that with me in my end of year review video that comes out in a couple of weeks. You can, of course, if you're watching this a bit later, do that video now, or I even have one from last year that you can watch if you want to be like super productive and get ahead. And in my end of year like review ritual, I go through my 3 steps to wrap up the year, which is reflect, rejoice, reset. So first of all, we need to reflect on our current year, 2023, to be able to have the awareness and the insight to know how to rejoice, how to celebrate our manifestations, our growth, our wins this year, our emotional wins as well. And then we hit that reset button come New Year to obviously then bring in that new energy, supercharge our manifestation powers, and step into an abundant new year. But I delivered this workshop in MBS Birmingham, and to be honest, I should have freaking filmed that and just posted that video. But what I want to do today is go through a couple of the teachings that I gave in this Manifesting Rituals for Abundance workshop in MBS Birmingham, because I really loved what I shared, and I really think it's important that we know this stuff before we kind of do the rituals and the end of year reviews. So what are we walking into in 2024? So 2024 is a numerology year 8, a universal year 8 in numerology. And at the moment we're in a universal year 7. So although we will go through our own personal year cycle, which I will link Caitlin, my good friend, who's an incredible numerologist, work below, so you can go and check out her work and work out your own personal year cycle. But collectively, we will all be experiencing the universal theme of a year 8 in 2024. And that represents money, it represents finances, it represents power, and it's also the abundance year. So as I've shared in something I'm going to share a little bit later on, which ties on nicely from this video, I did a whole episode in this special thing that I'm launching, which talks all about the energy report of 2024, what goes into this year 8. But what I really want to share with you is that how you wrap up your year 7, so our collective year 7 together now at the end of 2023, is how you will enter, obviously, 2024, year 8. So how can you financially start to set yourself up for success? Is there any to-dos financially or to do with your money that you've been putting off? Is there any sort of like to-do list that we need to kind of check off and get cleared for the new year? So if there's anything with your finances or money that you can really start to home in on, tidy up, get feeling good, get in the flow, do this now. So I'm in a personal year 9 cycle right now. So last year in 2022 was my own personal year 8. And from experience, obviously how it plays out collectively may be really different, but there was huge up leveling last year for me with my money mindset. I was tested with money and finances throughout the year. And it was also a year I worked hard. It was definitely, and Caitlin also was in a personal year 8 as well. And we were saying like how hard we worked. And that is the abundance year of, it was a fantastic year financially. And although we were challenged to up level our money mindsets, and that was definitely a theme for us, working hard was also a theme. So I want to highlight those with you because I don't want any of us to work hard next year. We want to work smarter, not more, right? So the lessons that I really took away from my year 8 in my personal cycle was absolutely like money mindset and up leveling that. And I was so grateful for the up leveling and abundance and the lessons that came with that last year. But it definitely was a year where it was very kind of like 1 minute an unexpected bill would come in and the next like huge abundance would come in. So it was definitely a year where I was tested, and definitely a year that opened my eyes to a lot around my own money mindset. So I want to highlight that to you because this is definitely what we could potentially see collectively and on a personal level next year as we are in that abundance year. But year 8 is the abundance year. And of course, money is a big focus of it, money, finances, but power as well. So how can you reclaim your power and step into your power with your money and finances next year as well? So I really want you to think about this now because Caitlin shares in her report of year 8 that, how you exit year 7 is really going to influence that year 8. So I want you to get ahead of it. I want you to be already feeling positively wealthy with your finances as much as you can so that you can utilize this year 8 to your advantage, supercharge that money abundance or whatever abundance means to you. Although money and finances is kind of the overall collective theme of that year 8, it also is the abundance year. So what does abundance mean to you? What does that look like? It may not be money. It could be an abundance of love. It could be an abundance of travel. It could be an abundance of any manifestation of your vision board or your desires, right? So we can use the collective energy of this year 8 to actually supercharge our desires when we work with it and have the knowledge and awareness of what's going on in this collective year 8 numerology. So I really highly encourage you to check out Caitlin's work. She's a great friend of mine. I absolutely adore her work and really see the power of numerology in my own life. And again, you can then work out what your personal year cycle is and see how that collective year 8 will impact your personal year cycle as well. So I want to share that first of all because we are stepping into the year of abundance. In 2024, our whole collective theme universally throughout this year 8 and 2024 is going to be abundance. So think about how you can start to feel abundant now. How can you step into the year of abundance abundantly, right? So a great question I love to ask my clients, and I said this in the MBS talk as well, is what makes you feel abundant? Like journal down now and pause this video or answer this later on if you want to, but what makes you feel the most abundant? So I asked my client this last week and she said that fluffy towels, nice luxurious fluffy towels and freshly squeezed orange juice, like she actually did it at home, was what felt most abundant to her. So I said, right, well, if that feels good and that feels like a hell yes, then that is what you're going to do this week. And such a small shift and such a small action can really help us to feel abundant in huge ways. It doesn't always have to look like spending huge amounts of money or any amount of money. Your version of abundance could be snuggled up on the sofa, watching a nice film, and that makes you feel so abundant because you have all this free time to watch something in your leisure. You know, there's so many different examples that we can give of what abundance means, but essentially it's always going to reflect what your version of abundance is. My version, your version, every single person's version will be different. So I really want you to think about what makes you feel the most abundant and how can you do that for the rest of December so that you can start, as we're doing our wrap up, doing our winter solstice, doing all these beautiful manifesting rituals for New Year, you're already feeling abundant. You're already in that container. You're already in that energy and that vortex of abundance. So I think it's really important that we look at how to set ourselves up for success in 2024 way before we're there, because we don't want to on New Year's Eve be stumbling around like, quick, write your desires, quick, I haven't done this, like what have I done this year? You want to go into this new year in an expansive, aligned, and happy and joyful energy, right? Because as we know, joy is the ultimate creator. So the more that you can do this over December, you're going to be seeing the ripple effect of that anyway, way before we're even in January. So imagine if you were doing those things that made you feel abundant for the next few weeks. Imagine how you're going to feel and where you're going to be come January the 1st to set these powerful intentions. So I just feel it's important that you have that knowledge and awareness of this year, right? Because it's going to be big for us. And I think we're going to see huge shifts in the collective of how money and finances and power is used in the dynamics, which could definitely go well, or it could be, a very challenging year. But we can use this energy of abundance in our own lives to really enhance our own abundance and our own money and finances. So if you're wanting to really shift that money mindset this year, step into that new money level and up level, then this is the perfect energy and the perfect year to do this. Another thing that I shared in this MBS workshop a couple of weeks ago was actually about the seasons as well. And in my manifestation membership back in November, we did seasons, and we had an incredible industry expert, Vix Maxwell, another great friend of mine, come in and be our industry expert. And in her workshop, she shared with us about, she said, think back to your biggest manifestations, or manifestations that really feel potent to you, whether it's this year, throughout your manifesting span, but think back to your desires. And she said, when did you manifest them into your life? What was the season you manifested them into? And obviously I was doing this along with all the queens on the call, and I thought, oh my God, it's always spring. I always manifest my biggest desires. And it's funny because I always notice April and May seem to be this kind of catalyst and container, as well as January actually, for abundance. I mean, January makes sense because I do the manifesting challenge with you all. There's kind of that motion there. There's kind of that ripple effect from all my, New Year's rituals that I do. So I can understand why January is that, but definitely March, April, May seems to be this every manifestation that I've had seems to come into existence then. And then summer, I will see manifestations in summer, autumn, and winter, but the real big stuff is always in spring. And I thought, gosh, that's really interesting. I've never been asked that before. I've never sort of sat down and really thought about it like that. It was always just a joke that kind of time of year seemed to be the most kind of potent for me. And then Vix asked us, and what time of year do you always set those intentions for those desires that manifested in the season you've identified? And of course, it was winter, without a fail. Obviously, New Year, December, wrapping up, it would always be winter that I would set these desires. January, New Year. So I was like, oh my gosh. So Vix was basically reminding us with this exercise that the seasons absolutely do help us manifest. And just like the seasons, there are different themes and, energies in our life. We can't always be go, go, go and in that masculine summer energy where we're manifesting every single day. In winter, for example, the earth rests. You think about the soil, think about the plants, the trees, they rest. They're not manifesting and blooming and blossoming all year round. So nature is a great reminder for us about the natural cycles and seasons that we experience. But this was a huge epiphany for me because recently I'd had a closed door on something I've been trying to manifest for a while, and I thought I was getting really frustrated and was like, God, like universe, what is the alignment here? Like, what am I missing? And that night we had Vix's call, and it reminded me of, you're not in spring yet. Like, wait till spring. So spring represents blossoming. It represents obviously new life, new beginnings, like the baby animals are being born. Obviously new flowers start to shoot up. The leaves on the trees start to obviously come to life again. So spring represents that green light from the universe. On the spring equinox, obviously it is that green light from the universe now, where we can start to really action the things that we've been sowing over the winter. So it makes total sense to me that my desires would come to me in spring. And then the summer energy represents manifestation. It represents the full fruition of your desires. It's very outdoors, outwards energy, obviously sunshine energy. It represents the divine masculine energy. So we're really in that like full outwards expression, seeing those manifestations in summer. And then autumn represents the falling away, the letting go. So obviously the leaves fall away on the trees and the plants. So that represents us harvesting. So celebrating the crops and the blessings and the manifestations that we have had throughout the year. And we're letting things fall away now that are no longer serving us. And then winter represents that utter rest. And even though in nature, in winter, it looks like nothing's happening and obviously everything's dead and, kind of let go and all the leaves have gone, actually underneath the surface, what we can't see is that the soil is replenishing itself. The bulbs and everything that we plant in winter to come up in spring and summer, everything's being replenished. The soil is being nurtured by, its surroundings. So this is a great representation of how even we can lean into that winter energy and realize that in winter, it is okay to rest. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to nap. It's okay to really take the pressure off yourself and nurture your soil, nurture your seeds, nurture you first, so that when we step into this new year and we're sowing these seeds in this fertile soil over winter in January, the soil is fertile. It's not kind of like dry and weak and burnt out and overwhelmed with Christmas and New Year. It is nurtured. It is ready to, really give all those nutrients and give all the goodness to those seeds and our seeds of our intention to bring them into fruition come spring. So we will experience inner seasons as well. And I have a whole ton of content here on my channel about the different inner and outer seasons. And obviously we celebrate the winter solstice on the 22nd of December. But I just want to again highlight that for you. And I want you to ask yourself, on what season of the year do you stereotypically manifest more of your desires? Is it spring like me? Is it a different season? In the membership, we had a whole array of different answers, and it was great to see the different answers, but spring did come up quite a lot as well. And then ask yourself after that prompt, what season did I set those intentions in? Was it winter? Was it spring, summer? Again, it doesn't have to be winter, but I just want you to see if there's any correlating themes for yourself as well, because this really gave me a huge aha moment of, why am I trying to push and birth something and like really get that manifestation into fruition in winter? Like, that just makes no sense. It makes no sense energetically, and it makes no sense for my schedule right now. And I realized like this is not the perfect time for this to come into fruition, because it would probably stress me out quite a bit in this winter, where I want to be resting, I want to be lightening my load, I want to be reviewing my year and being super intentional with my beautiful desires I want to set in the new year. So how we can set ourselves up for manifesting success is look at the season of life that you're in, and look at the year rate energetically as well, and make sure your finances, your money, get yourself in the best place possible to up level next year, to receive the version of abundance that you really want to receive. And if money is not something that you're particularly fussed about at the moment, then what is your version of abundance? What abundance do you want to step into in 2024? And how do you want to use the collective energy of year 8 to up level that abundance? What does that abundance look like for you? And how can you step into this 2024, this new year, already prepared for this year rate energy? So I think there's a lot of like actionable things that we can be doing over the next few weeks even before we hit this review that we're going to do together, even before we wrap up the year, do the winter solstice rituals and our beautiful manifesting rituals for January. And of course, as I said, you've got some very exciting content coming your way over the next few weeks to support you with everything that I've mentioned in this video. But I hope this has really helped and served you and given you some great preparation tools that you can be cracking on with over the next few weeks before we get to obviously enjoying the festivities of Christmas and New Year, but also as well wrapping up and setting those intentions. So we're kind of beginning that review process of 2023, but just gently with some light, gentle actions and really stepping into the feeling of abundance before we're setting those powerful intentions on New Year and before we enter the year of abundance in year 8. But please let me know if this resonated with you, what you've learned from these prompts. Let me know what seasons you manifest your desires in most and when you set those intentions. It would be really interesting to know whether spring is a more common time for all of us or whether it's completely random and we all manifest our biggest desires at completely different points of the year. I'm sure that will be the case. And of course, keep an eye out and do subscribe if you want to, again, be reminded of the content that is coming out in the next few weeks. And I'll link below some useful resources and everything that I've mentioned in this video, so don't forget to check those out as well. But before I go, I mentioned a little bit earlier on when I was talking about the year 8 in numerology that something exciting was coming. And I just want to share this with you because if you're familiar with my work, you may know that each year I've done your manifesting toolkit, which is an end of year toolkit bundle that I've done for the last few years. And loads of you absolutely loved it. But for this year, I knew it needed a very big abundant glow up. And I have transformed your manifesting toolkit into manifesting rituals end of year reset. So if this video has sparked some interest and you're like, Emma, I want more of this, then on the 14th of December, you can join us for manifesting rituals. It's a 10-day secret podcast experience. You also get an 80-page workbook, just like in the Your Manifesting Toolkit. So it's basically like having me in your pocket throughout 2024, guiding, supporting, and cheerleading you. You also get 2 bonus tracks as well, which is my New Year subliminal that features nowhere else. It is exclusive to manifesting rituals. So that is there, and that is designed to obviously help to raise your vibration, step into all the beautiful energy that we're embodying in that course. And oh my gosh, I've already loved listening to this myself. I'm recording it for you. And the second track is a New Year intention and clearing meditation. So clearing the energy of 2023 and stepping in with those clear intentions for 2024. And there are other visualizations and powerful meditations in the 10-day audios as well. So each day a new 20 to 30 minute audio drops on our secret podcast platform, and you can expect the themes of alignment workshops, energy reports of 2024, winter solstice rituals, New Year rituals, and so much more. I don't want to bang on too much about it here, so I will pop a link below with all the information. I would absolutely love to see you there. And if you want to release the overwhelm of New Year and be guided with alignment to supercharging your beautiful desires in 2024, then I would absolutely love to see you there and help you with this. But thank you so much, gorgeous souls, for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below because I reply to them all. And don't forget you can also join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. I hope you have a fabulous week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be next week. Lots of love!